Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Simply Pretty Studio. So today I'm going to be using the Extraordinary Flora stamp set and the matching die. So it's got one die that goes with it. And we're going to be creating a card using a sketch that I set as a challenge for my community group people. So if you're joining me, please do say hello. Let me make a few adjustments. I don't know what is happening with Facebook this morning, but it's not wanting me to post anything. It won't even let me refresh. I do not know what is happening. So bear with me while we check what's going on. Don't know what's going on. Okay, not the best start, but I need to know that I'm live. I can see someone's on here and I can see that I'm still live, but it's always good to see what you see. Okay, I can see you now, which is good. So, as I said, we have got a lot happening today. I feel slightly overwhelmed myself, so I'm sure you will be too. The sun is trying to come back out. It's been really windy here the last couple of days. So I'm kind of like semi-covered up because it is quite warm in, but the wind is a little breezy. So, what have we got for you today? We have got an in-colour sale. We've got 2 new kits that have landed. We have got some old Celebration items added to the last chance list, along with loads of other, I've just had a quick scroll through and ran out of time, loads of other products that have been added to that last chance list. Some things are at half price. One of the die sets that I'm using today, because I'm just using a couple of label dies, the Unbounded Love, that's gone down to half price as well. Good evening, Shaz. How are you doing, my sweet? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so lots happening. And also as a demonstrator, I've been able to preview our kind of like mini catalogue. The seasonal one comes out in September. So I've got products to order as well. So if you don't want to place an online order with me and you're local, and you want to add anything to my order, give me a shout, because I'm going to be popping an order through by lunchtime. If you're not local, I can post it to you at cost. It definitely works out cheaper than the standard shipping, which I am sorry about, that our shipping is so, it's not very competitively priced, and I understand the reasons why, and Stampin' Up do subsidise it as well, but it's still quite a sting if you only just need a couple of bits. So please do message me and I can order anything for you. Right, enough waffle, let's get down to my desk. I've got my iPad as well, so we can have a little look at what's going on there. So bear with a hand. Let's get you down. Navigate that Zoom. Hate the blooming Zoom. Get everything straight, because we don't like skew F here. Let it catch up. Have a little bit of light. Still using this old grid paper. It's very retro. It's only got centimetres on. I work in inches, as you know. I have been thinking about, like, some of my PDFs, converting those to metric, but it's a lot of work and it's something I need to progress on, and I need to sell more PDFs to justify for the time as well. So let us get this grid paper down. What have you been up to, Shaz? What have you been playing with? Have you had some crafty time? Right, let's just have a quick look. This iPad is so old that it takes like a century to charge it up. I can unplug it now because it's been charging for a couple of hours and it's only got like 17%. So let's have a look first at the last chance products, because they're exciting. There's some lovely things on here. Lots of things reduced, heavily reduced, like this one here, the Wooded Acres, half price. Some really fab things. There's a ribbon that I'm using currently that was on the online exclusives that I think has actually gone, but there are pages of luscious products. Not everything is reduced. Obviously on the last chance list it means they're there for a reason, but some really great things on here. This one from the scrapbooking brochure. So yes, some really good bargains to be had. So if you're looking for some new products, look at the prices of these kits. I hadn't registered that. The Storybook Live scrapbooking kit, £13.20. Let's open that and have a look for you. That's incredible. So it creates 6 layouts, so 3 double page spreads. But look at all of the products that you get included to create these double spread layouts. And you get stuff left over with these kits as well. Let's go back to what you get included. You get like sticker sheets, die cut pieces, really great for, these papers are gorgeous as well. Oops. Doesn't like it when I do that. Let's just zoom like that. And you get coordinating cardstock as well. So that's a really good one. Then as you scroll through, there's loads of really great stuff on here. We've had some old Celebration products added to the list. We're going to have some changes coming in Celebration, but more on that when I'm allowed to talk about it. Look at those. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and this stamp set here is reduced heavily as well. I know I saw that. The Grow With Love is down to about £12. This is a really nice one too. And it's so tempting for me to just buy things that haven't got at reduced price, but I'm not going to use them. Right, let's go back to specials and the in colour sale. So in the in colour sale, we've also got one of our new kits that's launched today. So we've had a couple of new kits, and this is called A Bunch of Thanks, and that's been reduced by 15%. This one here that's on its way to me has been reduced as well, down to £20.40. That is a lovely kit. Those of you that have been loving the Painterly pairs, things that are being shared, those papers are reduced. So we've got lots of things reduced here that all that have kind of in colour elements in them. So it's the 2025 to 2027 in colours that we're talking about here. The washi tape that I've got here, I can show you some bits with that. But yeah, really fab products here. So what else do we have? So I've showed you the in colour, I've shown you the last chance, and what else was it? The new kits. Oh, let's just go show you the other kit quickly. So we have the Brighten Your Day kit. Oh, we've got 3 kits, of course. We've got 3. So this one makes really lovely cards. You've got your sentiments there. So it doesn't include stamps, that one. You've got some lovely printed envelopes and things. Then we've got the Bunch of Thanks, which has the in colours in it, which makes these lovely folded bouquets. You've got a stamp set in that one, which is always valuable. So down to just £18.70. And then we have the garland, the Harvest Home garland kit, which creates this beautiful garland. But of course, it could be so much more than a garland. If you didn't want it to be a garland, what does it tell us? It tells us how long it is. It's 5.5 foot long. Wow. And I've got some good colours in there. Cajun Craze, copper grey, so that's the foil, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Very Vanilla and White. Who uses Very Vanilla now? I use very little of it, but luscious colours in there. And then you can see there what you get in the kit. But, you know, you could use these leaves on your other projects. So lovely. Right, let us move on to today, because I have got so much to do. My head is in a spin, as usual, overloading myself with plenty of work. Never enough time. So, the Extraordinary Flora. Absolutely love this. Morning, Lucianne. How are you doing? Absolutely love this. So, it's quite an unusual one because it's one stamp and I absolutely love it. I love foliage. I love flowers. Those sort of projects are never far from me, are they? The die... Actually, I am using the Unbounded Love. I was thinking I wasn't. This is the die that goes with it. So it literally, if I hold this over, cuts out in one swoop every single stamped image, which I think is just genius. It's time saving. You know, it just makes sense to have products like this. I am using a circle die, so I'm using one from the Stylish Shapes. I've had this for such a long time and I use it all of the time. And then the one I mentioned, which has gone on the last chance, is the Unbounded Love. This is just such a great set. I've used it again time and time over, and I think I'm just using this little label today, but this one's gone down to half price at £17. So as I said, if you want to order anything, give me a shout and I'll add it onto mine going through. But the Extraordinary Flora, the other great thing it has, I have to be careful because I tore this when I was filming the other day. We've got this roll of washi tape, which is included in the 15% off because it's got some in colours in. And then as you roll it, it's got sections. Oh, lost that one. But no worries, there's plenty more on there. As you roll it off, you soon discover that it coordinates with the die, which is another genius idea. And what I've done, I have stamped this, stuck this down onto, oh gosh, that wind's coming in again. I've stuck this down onto basic white cardstock and then I've cut them out. But then I thought, let's try something else. So I stuck them, I stuck like one run. So basically you've got different colours in here. Can you see how we're changing? The colours go from like purples to pinks, and they're in a section of like one whole die is a section to cut out. You have to keep this washi tape under control though. So keep it done up. Are you getting excited? You've got your Alfie bone in your mouth. Yeah, bless you, it's your favourite. He's getting excited because the door is blowing and he's wondering what's happening. Bless him. So when I stuck a section onto our, not window, our vellum, this is what I got, these very delicate images. Okay, so they're not as thick, but they're not sheer, but they're just slightly different. Let me just grab a white one back to the white background. Can you see? And I think I prefer it done on vellum. That being said, you could probably do them on window sheet. I haven't tried that and didn't think about doing that. So I absolutely am in love with this set. And I've created some projects for my online classes as well this month, so I will sneak peek you those when we are done. The other thing I'm using for this one is the Glass and Gardens embossing folders. I have a feeling they're unavailable at the moment, but they will come back in. So we're going to be using those, and we're going to be doing a bit of colouring. So these colours are never far from me, are they? We've got Fresh Freesia, Soft Sea Foam, and I've got Mossy Meadow here. And then I've got my Memento Black because I'm going to be colouring in with those pens. And I have pulled out my Mossy Meadow ink pad to do a little bit of stamping. Now, I can see I've done some leaves with another set with the Charming Day. So this is the Charming Day. I'm going to be just using these little leaves here. So let's get going. So my sketch, I'll show you the sketch after. Let's get going with the card. Right, first of all, oh, Where's that come from? Where has that come from? Because I haven't even touched that colour. It's very spooky. Unless it was on the back of something. It's on there. I do not know where that has come from. It's not on my hands. Anyway, let's move forward. Right, let's bring in our mat. And we're going to ink up this stamp. Now, if you don't have a huge block like this, there are ways. If you've got a stamparatus that we used to sell, or a placement tool that's got a large platform on it, you'll be able to, let's just zoom in a little bit more. You'll be able to mount it on there. Worst case scenario, mount it on the back of your stamp case and just put something sturdy in the middle, maybe an ink pad, so that you can then press it down. So obviously when there's no stamps in there, it's going to squish a little bit. Any other suggestions for when you don't have a large block? I mean, I think a stamp case is always a really good idea. So we're going to ink it up. Because this stamp is so large, we're going to take our ink to the stamp. I mean, the beauty of having either the placement tool or a large block like this, which I understand is an investment, but you know, we do have some larger stamps, and once you've got it, you've got it. It's one of those things. The advantage is, of course, you can see through where you're going for like this purpose. So we're going to stamp that one down, let that ink soak in, and then we end up with this. And this little piece I've cut to 3.5 by 5.5. I just think it's adorable. I just love the genius idea on this. Okay, we don't need you again. We're going to sit those just to one side, just to allow them to dry, even though I have done another one ready. We're going to pull in our bits and pieces. So we've got our basic white layer for the base of our card, which we did get a little bit of ink on there, but we're not going to worry too much about that. What I might do is just slightly fold it and trim off that edge. There's always a way around it. Can you see that little dot of ink, which I do not know where it came from? Slither off that. So it makes our card a little bit narrower, but we're not going to worry about that. So 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. Then I have a layer of basic beige, which measures 3 5/8 by 5 1/4. And then a matting layer of basic white, which will be an 1/8 less at 3.5 by 5 1/8. Okay, so those are going to stick together. And then there are two options. So I've got a piece of old olive that I'm going to emboss, but I also have 3 pieces. And for ease, so they both add up to the same. So it measures 3 inches by 4.5 inches. Shaz, you're loving this set too. Yeah, it's me all over, isn't it? Just flowers and foliage. I just love it. And with a stamp set like this, you're going to pull to it so often, because like I've been talking about this on my stories and in my posts, that if you've got small flowers, you can kind of dot them anywhere. When you've got a large flower, sometimes it's a little bit trickier to know how to place it on a project. But also these are great for inky finger smudges. Like small little flowers and bits of foliage are great for hiding those happy accidents. So we've got our old olive pieces. Now we're going to pull in the Glass and Gardens embossing folder, and you could individually run these through if that makes sense to you. But what I'm going to do is on this one. Shall I partially do it down the middle? Yeah, and then it'll be different to my original that I did. We could do it to one side. Yeah, let's do it to one side. So we've got one side blank, and then I'm going to do like a little twist on my, not on my sketch, but on my project. So I'm going to run that one through. Let's grab our plates in. So we need to take out plate number 2. And we'll just do this to one, doesn't matter which side. It's going to do it on one side like that. Pop that top plate on the top, hold it tight, and then run it through. Just going to pop that middle plate back in, ready for a bit of die cutting. And then we've ended up with our one piece. And then what we're going to do is just chop it into 3 pieces of 1.5 inches. So we'll chop it at 1.5 and 3. And then we end up with our individual pieces chopped up like this. Now the reverse, the debossed side is as pretty as the embossed side. And then on my sketch we had 3 panels. So we had 3 panels on here like this. Now what we could do is something a little different to what I've done on my original. So we can lay them down so that we've got like a pattern weaving through. Actually, let's do that one that way. We could do them all one side. I quite like it being like that. Right, all we need to do now is lay these down with a nice even gap between them. So we'll take the middle one out. We'll look at the top and the bottom. Are we zoomed in enough? We'll look at the top and bottom and put an even border around those 3 edges, which should then leave us enough room to get that middle one. So if you start with the top and then put in that one, you're probably not going to have enough room at the bottom. So if you guide yourself with the top and bottom first, then the middle one will fit nicely in between. Just cleaning off my glue. I don't know why this one is sticky on the end. And I haven't done any crafting for a few days. So, as we were away at the weekend, and then yesterday, or Thursday I had grandchildren. Wednesday I had grandchildren because it's school holidays. So I'm just sticking that one down with like a nice, can't pick anything up today, even border, top and bottom. Just move that before it sticks. Thursday, yeah, Friday I did do some work, and then Saturday we went off to the vintage fair because there were some of Jason's dad's, a couple of his old lorries on display there. So we went, spent the night in the motorhome, and then we didn't get back until Sunday evening. And then it was like the weekend gone. You know what it's like? I was sort of anticipating getting a lot done around the house, and then it just, none of it happened. But hey, it'll get done. Hoovering can wait. Crafting's way much more important. So then that little middle piece can just go in after. Just get rid of that glue. Yeah, our weather's a bit odd at the minute. We had like a really, really hot spell. Morning, Jill. How are you doing? Woofs to Alfie. Yes, bless him. Where's he gone now? He's gone back down. When the door blows downstairs, it kind of makes a squeaky noise and he gets all excited. So I'm going to let that bit dry and then we'll rub that off later. So we've got our 3 panels. And this sketch kind of works. Now we're going to add these 2 together. I've got 2 other cards that I created with this sketch because I just think it works so well. I love working from a sketch. I work from a sketch most of the time because it just speeds up my process of sitting here and fumbling and pushing bits and pieces around. So I discovered when I created this one, I kind of thought, okay, let's see what else we can do with this sketch. So I'll show you those after. Right, that one now we can put straight down onto the base of our card. Which I did trim a bit, it shouldn't make a difference. I've got some in there, never mind. Nice even border all the way around. Surprised I don't wear that rubber out. I'm continually rubbing things out with it. It's always like the boring, it's like the boring gadgets, isn't it? Like this and this that we don't want to spend our money on because we want to spend our money on pretty stamps and pretty papers. But it's these tools and things that really kind of just help us, and we use them all of the time. We don't realise how often we're using them. So we've now got this layered up. So really simple. You can adapt this sketch so much. Right, we've got our 2 little bits for die cutting. So let's just grab those and cut them out. I probably won't need all of that. So I chose a circle from the Stylish Shapes. If you've got a circle punch or Spotlight on Nature, that's a really good circle one. This is that bargain one I was talking about earlier. So this one, if you've just popped in on the live, we've had a last chance list update today, and this is one of the items on there, and it's been reduced now to half price at just £17. Hi Renee, how are you? I hope you're keeping well. Let's chop half of that off because we could use that for something else. We can't waste anything nowadays, can we? I'm not going to snip that because I will still be able to use that bit for die cutting. Had some washi tape. Let's stick both of those down together and run that through. What have we all been up to? Just cut these out and then we can sit and do a little bit of colouring before we move on. So I've got I filmed one of my classes for this month. I need to film 2 more using these products. So I love this one. It just puts a lovely edge around that. I'm glad to hear all is well, Renee. It's good to hear. I had a couple of like flat days as well, and I don't know whether felt absolutely washed out. I know last time I think I was on here, I was having that like run over by a steamroller feeling, and I don't know if it's age, hormonal, but I had it over the weekend as well. I was just feeling really flat, really tired. But today I am feeling a bit brighter, so that's good. So we've got our 2 die cut pieces. Let's sit and do some colouring in. I won't use this one. I'll use the one that I've started earlier. So I've started to colour in some of the flowers. Oh, this is on my desk too, and I'm really gutted about this because I had a look and this one was on the last chance list, I think, before, or was it on? I can't remember, but I think it's gone, which I'm really gutted about because I absolutely love it. And that was the gift. This was the gift for my monthly challenge in my community group. So if you are not in my community group, please do join. There's just a couple of questions you need to answer to get in, and they're not rocket science. They're basically just asking you to be kind to other people in the group. Which one do I need? I need this one. Yeah, and anybody can join. If you're a demonstrator, if you're a million miles away, you can still join. It's lovely to have you. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take the light fresh freesia and just colour in the petals on this flower. It's going to take a bit of the dark just in the base and on the top, and just blend those in. Really simple colouring, that's what I love about these as well. And then for the leaves, I've chosen the light soft sea foam, and I like to just colour in the whole of the leaf. Keeping those lids on but not pushed tight while I'm using them, and then just a little bit of deeper colour at the base that we then just pull together into the rest of the leaf. Can you hear the squeak? These pens make a great noise. Okay, so that just blends through. That's not the best of colour, and I've gone over the edges a little bit, but it will be fine. And then I also need this one down here, so we'll just do the same again. Did you see, Shaz, some of those scrapbooking kits have been really heavily reduced, the ones that have added onto the last chance list. I need to do a bit more scrapbooking. I haven't done anything for a while, but I've also invested myself in a really lovely journal. So I've got some visions of doing some kind of art journaling, but a little bit more scrapbook related. So like really quick scrapbooking, but in a small journal. And I'm excited to do that. And I'm thinking of hosting some events here as well. So I think it could be fun. Right, so I've coloured in a couple. Let's just colour in the leaves on this one that I've already coloured in. I'm not using it now, but because I'm going to cut it out. In fact, we don't really need to. We don't need to. Let's just add some depth because I can colour them after. So I just like to add a little bit of depth to the base and then just pull it into the rest of the leaf. And it just gives you that kind of like tonal effect. Let's cut these out because this is where the magic happens. Move that chair out of the way because my bottom is not going to be on that much this morning with all the filming that I've got to do. So let's bring back in that die. I also get to pre-order my catalogues as well today. So if you would like a copy of the upcoming catalogue, oh, I need some washi tape first before I focus on that, then please do get in touch. If you already shop with me and you've been shopping with me recently, you will automatically receive a catalogue. But because I have to pay for them and because postage is quite steep now, I don't just randomly send them out to anybody that I think might like them. Of course, we have the PDF version, which means you can then view it online. But if you're like me, you'll have a paper copy. Right, we're going to run that through and reveal the magic. I have done a little video actually of me using the washi tape. It's really great. Absolutely love it. So they all come out and they're all left. And then you've got a whole load of flowers and foliage in one run. And it would just take you a few minutes to sit and colour those in. We need that one and that one. And then we'll just put all of those together in a little pile to do something with later. Right, well, let's start assembling. In fact, let's just stamp our sentiment. I'm going to use the With Love, which I've already mounted onto a very old block. We want a little strip of paper. Let's have a look what widths we've got in here. I want something that's kind of not too thick, but in between that might be okay. Does anyone else keep really skinny, scrappy bits like that? Is it just me? They're so handy. It's like when I'm cutting inserts for cards, which I don't cut so much now because I don't include them in my classes. But I used to get little strips like this and I was forever giving them away because I couldn't keep up with them. And I was never going to use all of them. My phone just rang then. Right in the middle of me stamping that down. So I'm sure it probably cut you out for a second. I'm on Do Not Disturb, so I don't know why my phone is ringing me. Now Alpha's excited because the phone has rang. It's nobody. Jason bought him one of these little fabric bones. It's like in a lovely sort of country fabric, like a brown sort of checkered fabric, and it's got his name printed on it. So he's got lots of bones with squeaks in and all sorts. So we call that one the Alfie bone, and it seems to be his favourite at the moment. He carries it around everywhere with him. Right, we've got With Love. And let's mount up. Curl these flowers first. And then we'll mount up with some dimensionals on the back of here. And pop this one down. Remember, I've zoomed in. And I'm going to pop it over to the... I don't think it really matters where we pop it. Over to the right hand side. And then we're going to add this one on as well. So I'm going to pop a dimensional just on the very left hand side. And I'm going to hover it over. I should have put a bit of glue under there. Let's just lift that. Pop a bit of glue just to hold it. Like that. So we're adding the layers. I've just realised I need to die cut a couple of these flowers. Not flowers, leaves. And I love these little leaves which are part of this flower stem. So let's just find a little scrap. Maybe we can get them both just about out of there. I'll just run that through quickly. Who's got that charming day set? I was using that on my last live. I absolutely love it. Right. Again, it's another one that we get to use our colouring materials with. So we just want both of those leaves. I just snip them off. Give them a little curl gently because we don't want to break them off. And we'll pop a little dimensional behind. Can we fit one on that end petal? Not petal, leaf. Just about. Oh, I've just realised I've got two on the go. Need to use one up first. We'll pop one under the flower and one under the leaf. And then also a couple under our sentiment because we're going full hog and popping right off our card today. So let's add our flower and foliage in first. No, let's not, because then we can hide things behind here if we want to. Let's add our sentiment first, which does look a little bit crooked now. So we're going to pop it over to the left-hand side. It's actually looking like it's going to R-A-I-N out there at present. Hoping it's not. Just going to straighten that up a little. And then we'll pop that flower just over that side. Tuck in the foliage just kind of underneath it, over that side. That one didn't cut that straight, but it's okay. And then to finish, oops, can't get the backs off because there's nothing to hold on to. Definitely can't pick anything up today. Tuck that one in under there and tuck one in over here. Actually, that one needs to go down a little bit. Let's just lift that up because of my dimensional. And turn it a bit, otherwise half of it is missing. And there we go. I'm going to pull that one up and go a bit deeper. Too much stem poking out. So really sweet and simple. My sketch was basically, I will show you it, but it was an outline like this, and then 3 panels, and then a place for your image and a place for your sentiment. So I will pop that sketch up. I'm sure I shared it throughout the month over on this page. So there we go, really sweet and simple. So that was how my sketch looked. So as I started then creating, I thought, what if we turned that sketch and just twisted our card around and created a different card, but with the same sketch? Because I love doing that. I think like working smart helps us save time. It helps with our productivity. And I just love it. I love like recycling ideas. And then following from that, I thought, let's do something else with this sketch here with the 3 bars. So I literally just reduced the size of them and then brought them down to the bottom of my card just to reveal a bit more white space. And I ended up with that. So I don't think we can get all of these on. Let's try zooming a bit. Maybe that one in the middle will work. So yeah, I was quite pleased that just with that one sketch, actually what you can achieve. So just starting with this and evolving into other things. So hope that's been inspiring for you. So this literally is like one sketch creating 3 ways. So, and I'm sure there's way more things you can do. And just think of this one sketch, the different combinations of colours. You could use pattern papers, what different stamps, just how different you can make this one project look. Okay, so that was my sketch. Let's show you what's coming up this month. So we've got my 6 cards. I've been sharing some of these on my socials as well. So I'm going to be filming this once I've finished for the PDF, so with all the measurements and the instructions. So that's my 6 cards. So you create 2 of each design at that one. Then we've got my 3D projects, which I don't think I've shown you these. I don't think I have. A little like gift card holders. So they've just got little belly bands on. This one's got a little card inside that will hold a gift card. So I love creating things like this. I think we're all inclined to give, you know, money and gift cards. And it just makes it a little bit more special when you've given it in something that you've created. So really simple projects there. So that's going to be another PDF. And then the final PDF is going to be a couple of boxes. So I absolutely love these. They're so strong and sturdy. I've designed them to make them strong. So that's going to be the 3rd PDF. And then remember, with the PDFs, when you bundle them together, you make a saving too. So again, this ribbon I've been using. So there we go, lots of goodness. I could just go on and on creating with this set, and I'm sure I will. I am sure I will, because these ones that I cut before with the vellum are waiting for me to be creative with. So that's what I'll be doing next. So I don't think there's anything else to shout about. Remember, we've had the last chance products go down. We've had the new in colour sale, which is around for the month, but things may sell out, so do be wary of that. And what else? The new kits that have come as well. So anyway, thank you for joining me for this one. Hope you found it useful. You've got all the measurements there, so you can recreate away. And I'd love to see what you do. So can you see as well how where's my original, the one that I've just done, where I embossed the whole of each of one of those individually, and where on this one I just did parts of it just to break it up. So, but think outside the box. Think of this layer being pattern paper, use up your scraps, and do something completely different. But I would love to see what you do. So please do drop me a message and share with me what you've created. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. It's been quite a short and sweet one today, but I'll be back with you all very soon. So if there's anything you would like to purchase, or if you've got any questions about anything, please don't be frightened to ask. I don't bite. And I'll see you all very soon. So take care and bye for now.